Well, 9 days exactly to 25th February presidential poll. Well, political parties and their candidates are actually doing everything they can to ensure that they gather as much vote as possible before they get to the polls. We are being joined by a representative of DVD going for Senate. He's in person of Osabo here. Enwigare.
Enwigare is my name.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you, ITV, for this initiative.
Well, he's the spokesman for DVD. So let's now quickly go straight into the talking point. Why is DVD going for Senate, owing to the fact that he's a successful businessman?
Well, before I go into that, let me first of all salute Nigerian youths for their courage and identify with them at this very critical time, particularly as it affects the protest of yesterday. And let me also commiserate to the family of those who lost their life in that protest. And having said that, you did mention that DVD has affected lives. I'm happy that it's coming from you.
And as a successful businessman.
I think what you want to do is to replicate business success in politics. Haven't been in business, like you know, he started with just one filling station, and today we have over 10 filling stations of DVD scattered around Edo South. So we want to now use the experience he has gathered in the private sector and bring it into politics with a view to see that a larger people are reached through his philanthropic gesture and also using government's patronages to service the people. That is why he wants to veer off, not only veer off, but join the experience he has gathered in business and bring it into politics.
Okay.
Okay, and like you know, there's been a clamor for youth involvement in politics. Now, as considering the age and his experience, what do you think are the chances of DVD?
I think he has better chances. You can't say you want a new Nigeria and not be thinking of DVD. DVD is the face of a new Nigeria. Because what we have had in the Senate over time is that it is believed that the Senate is a retirement home for former governors, former ministers, former retired generals and PSs, you know, of federal institutions. But for the first time, we have a young man in his early 40s, 43 years to be precise, gunning for the Senate. It has never happened in the history of this country.
For the first time.
For the first time. So if, by the grace of God and by the will of Edo people, DVD is elected, we all will be making history as having the youngest senator being elected in the platform of our party, the APC, and representing Edo South. All right. So his chances are good. This is actually what every youth should clamor for. Every youth should clamor for. Those who sincerely, and who are not biased, who are not partisan, who truly want a Nigeria that works for everybody, who truly believe that the leaders of tomorrow that we have always had can actually happen. I think everybody should be thinking about DVD.
Now to an extent, his slogan is to change the narrative.
Yes.
So what is he going to do differently if voted into office?
We want to see that representation gets to the grassroots. We want to see that woman in Igbomohwa who farms feels the impact of government. We want to see that young man who hustles feels the impact of government. We want to see that government is not just about patronizing those godfathers, as it were. We want to see that if you, as an individual, desire a better government, we want to see that a young man who can be reached by all is the one representing us. That is the narrative we want to change. Okay. Not the days of when you have older persons who you can't approach, who you can't reach. We want people who is accessible. We want a young man who you can reach, who you can speak to as a contemporary. That is what we are doing differently. We want to see that every nook and cranny of these states, of this Edo South, is feeling government impact like we have never had before. Okay. That's what we want to do differently.
Okay, now let's come home.
Yes.
To Edo State. Now, if we're going to, count numbers, we can say for about 6 years, thereabout, the APC have not really been in power, you know, in Edo State. And they're not presently, the APC is not the ruling party in Edo State. Now, your candidate, DVD, running for this seat. Now, do you think that this factor could actually influence his chances, positively or negatively? What do you think?
Positively. Positively. We have had, you see, Edo people are like a man who married 2 wives. We have seen governors between 2008 till 2016. And we have also seen governors from 2016 till date. We can actually do our comparison. During the times of Governor Adams Aliyu Shomole, before he left in 2016, that was the last time we saw development in Edo State. So today, we see that there can actually be service delivery, but the government we have today is not doing anything at all. So it's going to work for our advantage. Right. If it's not working for our advantage, I'll tell you, they would have been intimidating the APC.
Okay.
Because we have paid for over 85 billboards. Edo State government refused to allow it fly because they don't want us to show ourselves. It's because they know that DVD is a brand, that APC is a party that has shown governance in Edo State.
All right, now talking about brand, he's a successful businessman in the oil sector.
Yeah.
What is he going to do differently when it comes to some oil producing areas in his constituency?
Well, luckily for him, he is from one of the oil producing local governments.
Okay, so what is he going to do differently?
It is really unfortunate that those who are producing this oil do not enjoy the benefit that comes herein. What DVD will do is to ensure that he works with government agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that those who produce this oil enjoys the benefit of this oil. For instance, he will ensure that there are quotas given to these communities who are producing this oil in terms of employment to the youths of those communities, to ensure that roads are tarred in those communities, to ensure that it is not just about being an oil community, but it will be seen, and the impact of being an oil community will be felt by all those communities who are producing oil.
Okay, David wants to go to the Senate.
Yes.
And we're talking about bills and laws that will affect the people. After all, that's what it's going there for.
Yes.
So now, what are some of the specific bills that your candidate is going to propose? Because there are seats there. It's either going to be in the front seat or definitely the front seat. So now, how is DVD going to bring the people to the front seat of the Senate and propose bills? What are these specific bills?
Well, first of all, by the grace of God, DVD will be elected a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that being so, he will be benefiting from the not too young to run bill. And having said that, we will ensure, by the grace of God, when elected, that we revisit the issue of the local government autonomy. Because local government is the closest to the people.
Okay.
We will revisit the issue of local government autonomy and ensure that whatever is due to local government is used by that local government. And see how we can eradicate that state and local government joint account, so that local government can get their allocations direct from the federal government. I have been a local government operator by the grace of God, and we see what happened there. That local government administration is just a shambles. Okay. Nothing is happening there. So we ensure that we visit that local government autonomy, and ensure that what is coming to local government gets to the local government. So
that's
for the benefit of the people.
So that's like the most of all he has in mind.
Definitely, that is very paramount in our mind. So we want to bring governance closer to the people. That's the idea. Okay. Getting governance closer to the people.
So is that the only that he might likely attend?
Definitely not. You know that the business of legislation, the business of legislation is principally making laws. And you have to lobby. We have 109 senators. You have to lobby everybody to be able to get whatever it is you want to have done.
But I'm sure that's not a good trend, I guess, lobby.
Of course, the business of legislation is lobbying. You can't get it done by democracy.
Okay, Osabu here. Thank you so much for taking time to join us on the program.
We appreciate you. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be taking a short break now when Nigerian decides in a short while. Don't go nowhere. Well, if you're just joining us, this is Nigerian Decides, reaching you live from Benin City, the ancient city of Benin Kingdom to be precise, on independent television. And of course, before we went on that break, we've been discussing with the spokesperson of Valentine Asuen, the man we know as DVD. Well, his spokesperson has been in the studio with us. And of course, we've talked about his chances and his plans for his constituency. Now, what should people look out for on election day?
Let me tell people that on election day, you won't be seeing DVD on the ballot. What you'll be having is the APC. At this time, what I want to say is that the party should not determine who we vote for. It is the individual that should determine which party we vote for. Because admittedly, we must admit too that we have challenges as a nation, and we have policies of government that are poorly implemented, and that indeed has have its effects on the people and their minds. But at this time, we must not be very emotional or too emotional about it. You don't choose a leader because you love him. You choose a leader because you believe he can deliver. And we are assuring you that DVD can deliver, and he has done well in business. And I believe very just now that if he is given the opportunity, he will be able to deliver. I tell you, he is the candidate of the APC. And on the election day, you won't see DVD in the ballot, you will see the APC. Vote APC. Vote all APC candidates across board. And I tell you, we have selected the best men this time. And you will see the benefit that we'll get from them.
Okay, you mentioned that we're not going to be seeing DVD's face on the... So what would the people expect to see on the paper? And how should they go?
You will see the broom. Look for the symbol broom. And for our parents, our elderly ones who have difficulty, who may be having difficulty, you have the right to signal the agent of the party you wish to vote for. Particularly the APC agents, they will be there. They will tell them which party you want to vote on. They'll be able to assist you to vote. You will see the broom. The broom is a symbol. And if you vote the broom, you have voted DVD. You have voted for the future of Nigeria. You have voted for a better tomorrow for your kids. You have voted the son of a renowned chief, Chief Valentine Asuen, a man who has done very well and has gone to be with the Lord. And his son has picked up from where he stopped, and he was properly raised by a very renowned philanthropist, and he has taken after his father. And I believe that having grown up in a family of Chief Valentine Asuen and having been properly raised by one of renowned food vendor in Edo State, the Seven Sisters. He sold rice in the street of Benin. He's an area boy. He's he's a city boy, known by everybody. Okay. So I believe that he has built a name for himself. And he's certainly not going to come to government to spoil that.
Now, as we begin to put a finishing touch to this discussion, you said he has built a name for himself, of course, and looking at his pedigrees. Now, how are we going to disassociate him from this government? To an extent, many Nigerians are not too happy with this present administration. And he's a party member of the APC. Well, so how are we going to differentiate DVD?
We are party men.
Okay.
And as party men, we must defend the party.
Okay.
That does not mean, too, that the pains that the people are feeling we are not part of. We are part of the society that is dealing with these issues. But what we are saying...
How are we going to differentiate DVD from the government?
You can't,
the administration.
You can't differentiate DVD from the government.
Okay.
But we are only saying that this time, don't be too emotional about the choice you make. You will choose a man not because he belongs to a political party, but because you believe he can perform. We are telling that DVD can deliver. He has delivered. Look, at this time, we shouldn't be choosing based on promises. We must look at the antecedents of the men in the ballots. Not necessarily the party they belong to, but the antecedent, the quality of their character is what we should be looking at. And DVD has its qualities.
All right. And okay, now people always find it difficult to assess their representatives. This is an issue. Many people, when it's time for campaigns, they always relate with their people. But after the election,
that is why we said that's why we said we are changing the narrative. We want people we can relate with, that can call his first name.
Like the man in the village to assess.
We are going to have a constituency office in the 7 local governments that make up Edo South. That if you can't reach DVD directly, you should be able to reach its representative.
For back and forth feedback.
For back and forth feedback.
All right.
That is what we are doing differently.
Okay.
It is it's not just about going to the Senate and remain in Abuja. That is why we need people who have a stake. DVD has a stake. He has a stake in Edo South. His business is rooted in Edo South. So if he runs away from the people, he can't run away from his business.
All right, now, to an extent, some people have this belief that politicians go into politics to enrich themselves and boost their
DVD
business.
has been blessed by God.
So now, how do we now separate DVD's business from politics?
Now,
let's convince the electorate at this point.
He's been blessed by God. God has helped him. He is no longer hungry. By the grace of God, the food he will eat for the rest of his life, and even his children, will no longer be an issue. But he wants to use government to reach out to the larger people. Okay. He wants to use government resources to reach out to the larger society. That is why he's in government. He's not going there for self-enrichment. He's not going there for self. He's going there for the people.
Okay.
Okay, now I must bring this in because I am a woman.
Yes.
Now, what will be the place of women in DVD's government?
If you are following us closely, you will see that in our campaign team, 50% of our campaign team is made up of women.
50%?
50%.
Would this be after it becomes elected?
It is what you are going to see. We will have women in our team.
Okay.
We will have, because
so women well represented.
Definitely, 50% of our campaign team just now. Go and verify this. 50% of our campaign team is made up of women.
Okay, Osaboye, let's quickly start.
Young women.
All right, now let's quickly get some of his policies. At least to an extent, that will serve as a conviction for those that will be voting for him. Let's quickly take some of his policies.
Yeah, you talked about local government involvement before.
We told you, we said, first of all, we are going to have constituency offices in the 7 local governments that make up Edo South.
Okay.
That is to ensure that there is a back and forth feedback. We also said to you that we are going to revisit the issue of local government autonomy to ensure that government is closer to the people.
All right.
And we ensure too, like you said, that we bring in women, youths into governance. And more fundamentally, we are saying that what comes to Edo South has not really been for Edo South. Because if there are employment, for instance, in the federal agencies and parastatals, quotas are given to constituencies. But what has happened to the one that has been coming to Edo South? We want to do that differently. We want to ensure that if quotas are given to Edo South, it comes straight to Edo South people. That is what DVD will do differently. Because we have our teeming youths who are not employed. And they are employable. So the area of Egyahu, which is the Egyahu, it can be done. It can be done. It can be done. That is what that has been a slogan. Egyahu, it can be done. When you meet, but we want to ensure that that is eradicated.
And I'm sure to an extent, since his name is Valentine, And of course, 14th February, we celebrated St. Valentine's Day. So love will be part
interestingly, that's not his birthday.
Really?
It's not his birthday, no.
He's going to spread love.
His birthday is sometime in April.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And his name is Valentine.
Yes.
And he's going to spread love.
Well, of course, love will be everywhere.
Well, it's not a coincidence.
So we want to beg those out electorate.
Okay.
It is not about the party. Yes, we are members of APC. We understand too that there's dissatisfaction in the public. But this time, let us not choose a leader based on party, based on because we love him. Let us choose leaders who can perform. And APC has produced candidates across board, leaders, proven leaders who can perform. Let us at this time vote across party lines and ensure that individuals who have capacity, who can give us effective and quality representation.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're glad to have you in the studio. Thank you so much. Do have yourself.
Indeed, it's always a pleasure being here. Thank you, ITV. Thank you, Auntie Favor.
Favor, it's good. Favor is fine. Favor.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, I will quickly take a
Let me
short
shake
pause
the man.
now.
I want to shake the woman first before the man.
It's so fine. It's fine. Thank you so much. All right, we'll take a short pause now. And of course, Nigeria decides to continue in a moment. Don't go nowhere.